Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the installment of Scott's Selections here for Friday, August 6th. Before we get into today's play of the day, quick recap what yesterday. Unfortunately, we ended up picking up a loss in baseball with the Angels and Rangers over 9. A couple of well-hit baseballs didn't go exactly our way into the gaps or over the fence, but mostly wasn't that close because Bundy was fantastic. The Rangers offensively, let's just say I'm never taking it over with them again this year. They cannot hit the ball, and it was pretty embarrassing to watch as they got shut out. But baseball's been pretty streaky for us all season long. We're still in the green, but I'm going to take a break for at least one day as we're going to be doing our UFC video for the weekend card. It's a pretty big card, UFC 265, and there is one fight on the main card that I do find a lot of value with, and it's going to be the play of the day. So the play of the day is going to be on a matchup between Yadong Song and Casey Kenny. And for the play of the day, I'm going to be going with Kenny on the money line at minus 118 on Bet Online. Time recording of 1:02 a.m. Eastern Time. Couple reasons why I like Kenny in the spot. First of all, to recap the recent performances by both fighters, Kenny lost his last fight to Dominic Cruz. Was a split decision, very close. I thought Cruz did win the fight, but I thought that Kenny definitely didn't embarrass himself. I thought it was a very close fight. Meanwhile, Sung Yadong got dominated by Kyler Phillips in his last fight, and the main issue was Yadong's takedown defense because he ended up allowing 3 takedowns to take place. And I do think that could be an issue for this fight because Kenny, despite being really, I'd say, improved in the stand-up over the last year or so, he is still a very talented ground guy, and he's also well-decorated. He's a second-degree black belt in judo. He's also a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I think that Kenny will be able to take down Yadong a couple of times in this fight, which should help him score some extra points on the scorecards. But Yadong has also struggled with his takedown defense, and not just in the Phillips fight, but for his last couple of fights. Yadong has allowed at least 2 takedowns in each of his last 3 fights. The main issue that I have is that I think Kenny is good enough to stay competitive with Yadong in the stand-up, but when it comes to the ground, Yadong is kind of a one-trick pony. He's really only a stand-up fighter, and Kenny, I think, is just the more well-rounded guy. I think he'll find ways to transition between some jabs, closing the distance, potentially getting into some clinches, and forcing some takedowns. I think Kenny will be good enough to get Yadong on the ground, stay on him, and do some damage while also being able to remain in top control, which should help him gain some, let's just say, credibility on the judges' scorecards. But either way, if you want to take some extra value, Kenny by decision at plus 175 is definitely tempting. But I do think that if Song Yadong is going to win this fight, he needs to connect with some powerful punches and potentially knock Kenny down, because if this goes to a decision, I think that Yadong's going to have to really outstrike him by a large number in order to get the decision. It could go to a split. It could be close, but I do think the takedowns will be the deciding factor. I think Kenny, if he really embraces the advantage he has on the ground, should probably get somewhere north of 3 takedowns in this fight, as Song Yadong's going to have to fight defensively the entire time on his back. And I do think that'll be the method that Kenny uses to try to defeat this particular opponent. The play that I, once again, here for UFC 265 is going to be on Casey Kenny on the money line at minus 118 on Bet Online. Bye, everyone.